One of my favorite things to come out of Ninjago in recent years has to be the short Golden Legend. This thing was an absolutely breathtaking surprise that came out of nowhere. I mean, we had the amazing Ninjago Legacy reimagined shorts, but this one in particular really stood out to me. This short is honestly such a gorgeous display of the potential of Ninjago as a theme and as an IP that in just 3 minutes and 26 seconds took this franchise to somewhere I've never seen it go before. This unique stylization and animation that just really stood out to me in a way that nothing else from this franchise has been able to do. But for the last 4 years, this single short has felt like simply just a little experiment, an anomaly. And in fact, out of all of the shorts, it stands out as being the one that also didn't get the most attention. Of course, from the fandom, everyone praised the heck out of this thing, but on LEGO's YouTube channel, it's the least viewed Ninjago Legacy short. It's not to say that the other shorts weren't good either. Gold Rush is another one in particular that really stands out to me. But seeing this as kind of a one-time thing, I don't think anybody ever expected more from this. Enter 2025. Along with, of course, new Dragons Rising sets that we're getting this year, we're also getting a smaller wave of new sets under the tagline of Legends. And with this comes what appears to be either one long short or a brand new small series of shorts that fall under the name Ninjago Legends Monstrosity series. And yeah, I mean, shorts aren't anything new for Ninjago. We've seen plenty of shorts based on Ninjago sub-themes of sets like Core or even Legacy itself, but now we're getting something a little bit different, but also familiar. And can I just say, I am so excited to see Ninjago dive into 2D animation once again. It was one of my favorite things about all the Legacy shorts that they did. A lot of them had really interesting stylized art styles, and the ones where they chose to dive into 2D art styles ended up being some of my favorites because there's just something about 2D animation that I just cannot get enough of. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against 3D animation. I think Dragons Rising currently looks great and is one of the best looking 3D animated shows I've ever seen. But I don't know, 2D animation just hits different sometimes, and it's not just that. Because this isn't just a 2D Lego animated show like something like, you know, the 2D episodes in the 11-minute era. This is fully stylized, unique animation that you can't really just find anywhere else or in any other cartoon. There is a clear artistic vision behind these shorts that really helps it stand apart from just any other cartoons out there. It has a clear visual identity of its own, and that's what I love so much about it. And not only is that identity unique, but it also sets such an interesting and different tone. The original Golden Legends short was really impactful to me because it set such a different vibe for Ninjago that we hadn't really seen before. It was so dreary and mysterious. It had such an interesting feel to it. For it being based on an IP that is essentially just an ad for Lego sets, it did nothing but take itself completely seriously and play everything completely straight. The tone in general is just so different from what we expect from Ninjago normally. Yes, Ninjago can take itself seriously. Yes, there are very strong emotional beats in Ninjago and very strong character arcs and all the stuff that I love it for, but there's also a consistent tone of, you know, there's comedy, there's, you know, antics, there's fun stuff that happens. You know, Ninjago, at the end of the day, is a very lighthearted show, even if it can dive into some heavier topics, but Golden Legend kind of implies this world that hasn't seen much positivity as of late. It's been stuck in this kind of odd, creepy state since the ninja presumably sacrificed themselves to try and save Ninjago. It doesn't necessarily give you that happy ending or that hopeful vibe. Of course, there's the hint that the ninja may return, but until then, the world is kind of just stuck like that, and I think that's really, really cool. So from watching the brand new Ninjago Legends Monstrosity series trailer, I can tell that even if it's not the same exact idea, since this new series of shorts will be set within the canon timeline of Dragons Rising, where we see Kai after the merge, but before we see him in Dragon's Rising, the trailer still emphasizes this idea of hopelessness, of Kai struggling, and not only emphasizing Kai's struggle, but the struggle of others, like the dragon he speaks to. And this tone is illustrated so perfectly, not only through Vincent Tong's outstanding voice acting in this trailer, but from the visuals, the muted colors, the huge scale of some of these monsters and creatures. This story would not work nearly as well in the standard Ninjago visual style, because it's trying to go for something very different, and these visuals sell that. And the thing is, I'm so thankful that LEGO realizes that. Because like I said before, the original Golden Legends short was not the most popular short out of all of the legacy shorts that they released. In fact, it was the least popular. But out of all of them, this is the one they chose to adapt into a series of shorts. The fact that LEGO cares enough about the artistic intent of this series more than the potential money that they could make, you know, adapting literally any of the other shorts, shows me that they care more about this brand than maybe I would have given them credit for previously. But it could also just be illustrating kind of the difference in their mindset now since 4 years ago when they initially released those shorts. With what we've seen from LEGO within the past few years, they've really been steering towards making more adult-oriented sets. There is a lot more sets from popular IPs that are more in the adult age range because that is a huge market for LEGO right now. So why not take your currently most popular original IP that is literally so old that the kids who grew up with it are now young adults themselves, and sell them more adult-oriented sets, which is exactly what they've been doing with sets like the Dragonstone Shrine and the upcoming Legends sets that tie in with these shorts. Am I saying that these shorts are aimed at older teens to young adults? Not necessarily. I think these shorts are still very much going to be for kids, but they realize that even if this is something that kids will enjoy, the overall style of it appeals more to adults. Yes, kids will love this as well, but older audiences get more from the style that they're going for here, rather than if they made something based on Day of the Life of the Golden Ninja, for example. No adult is gonna want to watch that. But this, on the other hand, this really appeals to a way wider audience. And I'm honestly really glad that LEGO recognizes that, instead of just kind of aiming for the lowest common denominator. Yes, these shorts might get less views than if they released a bunch of shorts that were based on some of the other ones, but their audience is going to widen. They're going to get more eyes on this, and this has more potential to blow up within the realm of animation itself, rather than just stay contained to the Ninjago fandom or the Ninjago audience. This is something you could potentially show to someone who's never even heard of Ninjago and be like, hey, look at this really cool piece of animation, and they'll probably love it, just because of how cool it looks in general. And now, not to drag Monkey Kid into this, but I kind of have to talk about it, not because I want to compare this to Monkey Kid at all, not in the slightest, but because the situation with Monkey Kid is something that did kind of worry me for a little bit. With Monkey Kid's latest season switching from Flying Bark to Wild Brain Studios to the animation, it kind of made me worry that with that plus the Dreams animation switch, I thought maybe LEGO was going to over-rely on Wild Brain for all their stuff, and they were going to kind of play it safe because they got scared off from working with other animation studios. So it just makes me so incredibly happy to see that LEGO is once again branching out to not only other animation studios, but other 2D animation studios, which is just such a breath of fresh air, because I absolutely love LEGO's 2D animated content. I mean, if it's any consolation with how much I love Monkey Kid, obviously I love it when LEGO does 2D stuff like this. And the fact that this is not only 2D, but a very unique style of 2D animation that's really taking advantage of the fact that it is animated in 2D, I just love it so much. It makes me so incredibly happy. So thank you, LEGO, for not only recognizing the artistic integrity of this IP, but also using it to create something completely different and new and exciting from it. Instead of just releasing shorts in what probably would have been a cheaper, way to hire Wild Brain back to make some cheaper animated stuff like they did with Core in the past, they actually went out of their way to hire a 2D animated studio to make something completely different, completely new, and fulfill this brand new vibe for the theme that we haven't really seen before since the original Golden Legends short itself. And it's supposedly canon, and we get to see more of what happened with Kai after the merge, which I think is awesome, and I hope that more of these shorts will follow different ninja during their journeys in the merge. That would be really cool, and that makes me extremely excited. But yeah, what else can I say? This just makes me really optimistic for the future of this franchise and of LEGO animated stuff in general. Yeah, so that was a little bit of a different video than I usually do on this channel, but this is just such a big thing in my opinion that I just kind of had to make this random unscripted video of me just rambling about this, especially since the videos I had planned before have kind of been messed up by the fact that Dragon's Rising Season 3 Part 2 has already leaked almost in its entirety, so a lot of the scripts I've been working on have kind of just become irrelevant already. There's stuff I want to work on, of course, but I kind of have to rewrite stuff in the mindset of, okay, well, I've kind of already seen what happens in the next season, so I can't really use this time to speculate on stuff in their first season, but I can still kind of analyze stuff a little bit, but it's kind of hard because I already know what happens, and I can't, I don't want to, spoil things through my conclusions that I come to, so yeah. Overall, I do want to finish up a review that I've been writing for Season 3 and get that out. But other than that, anything else I had is kind of out the window until the next part rolls around and I can get back to doing what I normally do. But yeah, overall, I'm super excited for Ninjago Legends Monstrosity. If you want more thoughts on it from even more people, stay tuned in Ninjago Cast. As this video comes out, we either will be doing it or have already done it. I have no idea how fast I'm going to get this done. We'll see. And also, since I never really get a chance to plug stuff through videos, if you guys want to read my full crystallized rewrite, you can find that in the description. And if you want to listen to my Monkey Kid fan music, you could also find that on the channel as well. You can also listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, or anywhere else you listen to music. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.